What's up, you guys? TheGame2k2 here for another commentary, and this time on the Irate Gamer's Super Mario Bros. 2 review. Please excuse the resolution of this video. I had a little trouble recording it, and after the 20th take, I was just like, I'm just going to use whatever I had. And to be quite honest, this was a video I've been wanting to do for a while, for various reasons. But first, the way I got introduced to the Irate Gamer character. A few years ago, I was searching for the Angry Video Game Nerds Back to the Future review, and boom, I got this guy. And I didn't like him back then. It was pretty obvious that he was doing nothing but trying to rip off the nerd. If you watch that Back to the Future review, all it is pretty much is the script that James wrote. You know, he copied and pasted it, added a few lines of his own, and boom, he had his own video. Over time, I've actually gotten quite used to him. He's a lot better than what he was when he first started, but there's still a lot of things about his show that really need improvement. But enough of that. Let's get to this review. This is Super Mario Bros. 2 again, and let's see how he does. To be honest, I'd say about actually, about half of his video is accurate. The review of the Super Mario Bros. 2, the version that we all know, is pretty accurate. He gets most of it right, except for that, you know, saying that characters are useless is beyond inaccurate. That's actually completely false. Yeah, he's received a lot of ridicule for reviewing games that are considered classics, but I'm not really going to hold it against him. I mean, if he doesn't like certain games, I don't see why we should argue about that. I'm going to try my best here not to completely bash him. I think he gets enough ridicule on his videos alone on YouTube, so I don't see why I should add to the ridicule there. Another thing that just pisses me off is the game starts you off with a 2-heart health meter. Now, I will agree with him on this. The power-ups for Super Mario Bros. 2 were completely ridiculous. I do remember playing this game and dying quite a bit because I couldn't find a power-up. And, however, I don't like this. His constant tendencies to walk into things to prove his point. And, you know, with James's videos, it's a little different. He'll make fun of something, you know, if he's dying constantly, he'll make fun of it if he can't avoid it. You know, because games are somehow designed like that sometimes, where you keep dying because you can't avoid certain obstacles. But this guy, he dies from obstacles that he can avoid, but chooses not to.
Look at this shit. Could it move any slower?
This is a really bad joke, this shit joke. Obviously, ripping off James again, which he's really got to get out of that habit. You know, if he wants to be remembered for, if he wants to be remembered for something good, he has to get out of the habit of copying the nerd. He's done a little less of that lately. I think he's finally starting to learn his lesson.
Some spots of this game are so overcrowded with enemies, it's
stuff like this. He could easily run away from that, but he chooses to get attacked. And this too. Jump over it. Jump on the cactus next to you and jump over it. Yeah, that's not funny at all. His depiction of the bosses, I can't really disagree with him on the bosses. I didn't really like them either. I didn't really like the challenge of them. Just throw the eggs back at him. I thought that was really lame. I do like this joke, him punching the boss. I thought that was really funny. This boss, I did like, actually. This is the final boss for Super Mario Bros. 2 is one of my favorites, and I really don't understand why he doesn't like it. After winning, the game then switches over to Mario, who is in Yeah, now we're going to get to the part of the review that's completely inaccurate. And by the way, his rants after he reviews video games goes back and forth. Sometimes they're funny and sometimes they're not. That one that you just heard was not. Again, this is where the review gets really inaccurate, especially when he reviews the lost levels. To his credit, he is correct that this is the original Super Mario Bros. 2, just slightly graphically enhanced for the Super NES. Obviously, can you picture a game that looks like this on the NES? But the one thing that bugs me about this whole thing is that he said he did his research. And when you hear that, you expect someone who says he's done his research to be very accurate. And he's not. So despite all his efforts in doing research, he's still very, very wrong. Super Mario Bros. 2, the original one, I've actually gotten my hands on recently, and it's really a hard game. You know, the original version, the one for the SNES that you guys probably played, and he's playing currently, that wasn't as difficult as the original game. The actual original version was actually a lot harder than the one that got released on the NES, the SNES. But I guess the real reason why it wasn't released in America is because Nintendo of America thought the original version was too hard, and instead of Nintendo going back into production to develop a new game, which would cost him a shitload of money, they just repackaged a game that was already developed, put the Mario characters in it, and boom, they had the American version of Super Mario Bros. 2. And yeah, what's the use of that? We already know it's the exact same game, but he has to go from just so the double screen that the same game. But to his credit, he does get the original footage from the original game, which I had yet to see before this video released. So I'm actually kind of impressed by that. Yeah, his rants, again, the double screen. That's twice he's done it. That's really one of the problems I have with him, is that his jokes stretch out way too long. Don't believe me? Watch his Kool-Aid video. That damn video game that he reviewed. Yes, it is a bad game, but he has this Kool-Aid joke that just stretches on throughout the entire video and gets really annoying. Another bad joke. Now he's reviewing the Game Boy Advance version of Super Mario Bros. 2, which is one of my favorite games from the Game Boy Advance, so I'm definitely not going to disagree with him on this one. I do agree with him. It was a much better game. But again, I still love the original game, so I can't really totally agree with him.
They totally revamped all the levels, included a lot more power-ups.
Always love that animation, Mario picking up the enemies. Once again, very bad joke here. This is actually a very bad green screen effect. Actually, it might be blue screen because it just looks that way. Yes, your reviews suck. Kill each other.
Time for some flower power.
Yeah, flower power. That's funny, right? I know I said I wouldn't bash him, but guess I am, aren't I? Okay, we're getting towards the end of the video. Thank you guys for listening. Let me just talk about this one last gag, this hell gag. This joke would have worked if we didn't get a close-up of his mouth, which I don't find that really amusing. But again, thank you for listening. It's the end of the video, and I'll see you guys next time.